My name is Kingsley Bangwell. I'm the Executive Director of Youngstars Development Initiative, also known as Youngstars Foundation, a youth-focused organization that works with young people. Well, I believe that the president has the power to keep his word. He has the power to do what he has said he will do, to increase women participation, to include youth participation. He has the discretionary power to do that. Nothing actually stops him. It's just his personal will to walk that talk. Whether he will do that is completely a different ball game, because a lot of time politicians say different things during campaigns, and then after elections when they win, the conversation changes. So we need to keep our fingers crossed to see if the president is going to walk that talk and include more women and young people in government. Well, expectation I have from the government, the first is that we need the president to cast a vision for us. As a nation, we don't know where we're going. The last we've heard about a national vision was Vision 2020, where Nigeria was to be among the 20 leading economies by 2020, which is next year. We're not hearing those conversations anymore from government. So we need a clear vision, because it's a vision that defines what every other person does, what international investors want to do. It defines what local investors, what development partners and everybody works towards. Your annual budgets and midterm goals and plans should all be keyed into a national vision. So by 2030, where do we want to be as a country? Over the next 4 years, these are the kind of things they're going to start looking at. So we need, the president needs to find someone with high intellect, someone that understands the issues in education and that is courageous and bold enough to drive the kind of reform and policy that will bring about change in that sector. And before I wrap up, two more things the government needs to do over the next 4 years. They need to fix power. We need to fix power. We can't still be talking 7,000 megawatts. Then tomorrow we're trying to say there is not enough infrastructure to even transmit what is being generated. There is disco, there is Genco. Every day we're just having conversation. What about alternative source of energy? Different parts of the world are beginning to say that by a certain period, 2030, 2040, 30-40% of their energy will be sourced through alternative source. People are living, hydro thermal. So Nigeria needs to democratize our source of energy. We can look to the east for coal. We can look to the north for solar. We can look at maybe the southwest or so for wind. And then it's such a big thing, because power is going to be the bedrock for industrialization. It's going to be the bedrock to foster, job creation and all of that. That's for me is critical. And the last thing I'll talk about is you need to empower young entrepreneurs. We need to empower young entrepreneurs. At the economy, one of the things government could do, look at industrial clusters. The 6 geopolitical zone, instead of calling them 6 geopolitical zone, I think it even makes sense to call them 6 industrial clusters, right? And then let each region focus on an area, on a product, on a service that they have comparative advantage. And that's what has happened around the world. It's happening in Morocco, it's happening in Tunisia, it's happening around even Ghana, our neighbors here, South Africa. They understand the power of cluster, because when you create clusters around industries, you reduce the cost of production, and then empower young people. I want to hear government talk about a $1 billion or $5 billion, investment fund for young entrepreneurs. If Tony Elimelu, a single individual, can put out $100 million to support 10,000 entrepreneurs over the next 10 years, it means that it can be done. Government can put out $1 billion every year and find 2,000 to 10,000 young entrepreneurs across the 6 geopolitical zone and empower them with resources and monitor them. And you're going to see an explosion of job creation, of wealth creation, and then our country will be on the trajectory of getting out of a mono system where everybody's talking about oil. And like I always say in some of my interviews, let the Nigerian oil dry up very quickly, because the earlier the Nigerian oil dry up, the better for our country. There are certain timelines by when they want to stop importing fuel and promoting cars that ride on fuel, and here we're still just everybody stocking the same oil. Once there is a change in oil price globally, we're shaking. Our entire budget of 8 or so trillion naira is just about 6-7% of our GDP, and it's sometimes the annual sales of some companies' first quarter, not countries, some companies, their first quarter sales in a year. So why I didn't engage citizens, because we have Nigeria, we got to make it work.